Hi guys. Just gonna straighten you guys out. How is everybody today? We'll just wait for a few people to pop on here. So what are we up to today? How's the weather where you guys are? It's not so nice here. It's pouring out. It's cold. It's a typical fall day. We, my son, my poor son, his 5th grade trip was today, and they're going to a BMX biking outdoors place. So they're not going to have very good weather for this. So I feel bad for him because he was a little excited about it, but he can't control the weather. So I'm just going to give it another minute or so before I start. We're going to do a few things today as far as I don't know. It looks like my speaker is off. Can you guys hear me? Let me see if I... Can you guys hear me? I don't know. There we go. It was just my computer. All right, good. So I thought I would do 3 cards today. I know that's a little ambitious, but they're really super simple cards. I'll give it another couple of seconds and then we'll see if anybody pops on here. Now, if you guys share the video, I do have a contest where every time you share, you are put into the drawing for a, just for whatever I decide to give away this week or next week, whenever you share it. So the first live video I did, nobody shared, and I believe this live video I had 1 person share. I should have been ready. I should have had it pulled up, but let me do that while I'm waiting for people to pop on here. And then I'll announce the winner. I think there was 1 or 2, but I believe it was only 1. So if it was only 1, I will just announce the winner right now. Let me just pull that up. Yep. Oh, well, I had 2 shares. I think 1 was me and 1 was... 1 share. Let's see. Well, it looks like I've had 2 shares on this, so let's see. Let me put the 2 names into random.org. Okay, let's see. Let me put the names in. All right. Generate. It looks like Kimberly Drake is the winner. So I will go ahead and get your present out in the mail after this video. So thank you so much for sharing. You guys, if you guys share, you guys will be in the drawing to have something from me. I will give you something. Just depends on what. It's not going to be something specific every week. It'll be something, a little something from me. So I'll get that out in the mail to you, Kim, as soon as I get off of this my video here. So share, share, share. Like I said, every time you share, your name will be put in the drawing. So when you share, you know, your friends share, that helps me out, and it puts you guys in the drawing for a prize. All right, so let's go ahead and get started here. I'm not sure if anybody's watching, but you guys can always watch. Let's see. You guys can always watch at when it's not live, because I'll upload it. So if somebody's on here, just say hi. It looks like one person is watching. So give me a hi, or you know, let me know you're here, where you're from, what's going on today in your weather. So my focus this week is going to be this awesome paper, designer series paper. It's called Toil and Trouble designer series paper. You get 12 sheets of this paper, and it's two-sided. So this is ghost on one side. Aren't they cute? And then your purple stripes, and then you have your pumpkins, and then you have your broomstick. And this one's so cute with the little cat, the cauldrons and the spiders. This one here, you could actually strip it out and have different pieces for your cards. So you could just cut these stripes, you can cut out the spiders, the cauldrons. So you can do a lot with the paper. That's the one nice thing about Stampin' Up! Is their designer series paper, they really put a lot of thought into it, and you can use their paper for the holiday that it's, you know, showcasing, or you can use it for other things. And I'm going to show you some examples of that today. That's why we're doing 3 cards. The little witches, these are so cute. And then your little cats on the back here. Then you have your hats. And then your frogs. I love the frogs. And then the bats. Let me show you one thing that you can do with the bats. If you have these spooky bats punch here, these bats line up perfectly with the hole punch. So you can line up these bats. Where's that little bat? There it is. So see, for instance, you can line up your bats and you can punch them bats right out. So that's kind of cool. You don't even need a bat stamp. You can just use this paper and punch those right out. So they're always, Stampin' Up! Is always thinking of this stuff. They're always coordinating their products with other products. So some of your dies and some of your punches coordinate with other stamp sets that you wouldn't even realize that coordinated together. So the back side of this are the stars and the dots. So that's the designer series paper, Toil and Trouble. And it is, like I said, they're 12 by 12 sheets, and you get 12 with 2 each of these designs. So we're going to use this paper today to make our cards. So the first card, and we're going to hardly do any stamping. The first card I'm doing, there's no stamping at all. You can add stamping in, but I wanted to show you the what you could do with just the paper. I know a lot of us are on fixed budgets, so if you don't have the stamp sets, or even if you have older stamp sets, you can use those along with these. But so this card here, I pre-cut everything to make it quicker. You're gonna need your A2 size card base, and this is Lemon Lime Twist that we're gonna use. This one here is hi Kathy, Michigan. How's the weather out there? It's like I said earlier, I don't know if you caught me, but it's really cruddy here. It's raining, and it's just a cold, wet, damp fall day. I just want to curl up with a book and a blanket for the whole day. That's the weather out there. So so our A2 card is the Lemon Lime Twist, and you're going to take a piece of the paper that I just showed you. This is the bats, and so you have the same weather, rainy and gloomy. So the paper here, we're going to use the stars side. We're not going to use the bat size. I love fall, but I don't like the rain. I don't like the cold rain. But I guess it's better than the cold snow that we get in winter. So I guess I'll take the cold rain, right? So we're gonna layer this on top of our lemon lime twist. And I'm just using some snail adhesive. This piece of designer series paper is cut at 5 1/4 by 4. So it'll frame up your lemon lime twist pretty nicely there. Give it a nice little frame. So we're just gonna layer that down. And then I took a piece of the Ghost designer series paper, the purple. This one here is measured 2 by 5 1/4. And then this is just gonna layer right here. I didn't exactly center it. I kind of pushed it off towards the left a little bit, so you have a little strip here, and it's a little fatter strip here, I guess. So we're just gonna go ahead and glue that down. Again, I'm just using snail adhesive. You can use whatever kind of adhesive you would like. I didn't get it perfect on the bottom. That'll drive me nuts. That's the nice thing about the snail adhesive. If you don't press it, you can pick it up and reposition it. There. And then all I did was I use the circle layering framelits, the square layering framelits, and the oval layering framelits, and then the stitched shape framelits. I use them all the time. I can't recommend these enough to people. I think if you're starting out and you want to get some dies that you're going to use, these are the ones that you want to get, because I use these all the time in my cards. They're great to have, and they're so universal with all the different designs that you can pick out there. So what I did was I took a piece of basic black with the layering. This one here, I always count smallest to largest. I don't know why, but that's just my method. This one here is the 6th smallest scallop oval. So I just cut that out of basic black. And then I took one of the witches. I just found one on the designer series paper, and I just put the stitch shape oval framelit. This one here is the 3rd smallest, and I just put it right over there, and I just cut her out like that. So you don't even need a stamp or anything. You know, pick out any one of those witches, and you can cut her out with one of the ovals, one of the circles, whatever design you want to make your card. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take her, and I'm going to put her on top of the scalloped oval here. So it'll give a nice little frame of your basic black. And then I'm just going to pop her up on the front. And with this card, I didn't use any stamps on it. I mean, you can use any kind of Halloween stamp you want. But like I said, you don't even have to use a stamp. Then you can just write on the inside. So, you know, this is a great way to get limited supplies, so you're not breaking the bank, you know. So we're just going to pop her right up on the front here, and then this card is done. I told you, super simple cards. So that's why I said, well, I can't just do a live with this one card because it won't be very long. So we'll go ahead and pop this up. This is the part that I hate the most. I hate taking these little octagon off. I always put a lot on here. They're cheap enough. With the discount that we get, you know, I'm at 25% off, so that it's cheap enough to where I can use a bunch of these. Because if you just use a couple, like one on the end, one here, it sags. And then if you go to mail it, you know, you're going to have that sag on there. So this will ensure that she stays popped up. So there's that card. Super easy, super simple, and it was done basically with all designer series paper other than a couple pieces of cardstock. So there's your Halloween card out of this paper. So the next one I'm going to show you is a fall card. And I'll put all these measurements and all the materials I used in the video, So if you guys want to make these at some point, you'll have all the information there. The next one is just going to be a fall card that I've done. Again, super simple. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to do the designs that I did here. So I'm just using the card base here is going to be Old Olive. Again, A2 size, 5 1/4 by, or I'm sorry, 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. Then I took the pumpkin paper, the one with the witch's brooms on the back, and I just cut this again 5 1/4 by 4. And then the twine, there's Nature's Twine through Stampin' Up. I think there's 4 colors of twine in there. One of them is this crumb cake, and this one here is from the Nature's Twine. Like I said, sorry, I was reading something on the screen and it distracted me. So I just took and I cut your twine. Your little twine's gonna come in a spool like this. So I just took and I just cut it, and you're gonna put some snail adhesive. You're gonna want it, I'll show you in a minute the way that I cut it, but I want to put some snail adhesive back there. So what I did was I just kind of took my twine off my spool, and I measured it so that it would go kind of at like a crisscross on each side, and that's how I cut it. So I'm just going to go ahead and wrap this around the back here, maybe. And then kind of bring it up here. So it kind of, when you put the two on, it's going to form like an X shape. And then the same thing here. So it's something like that. And this one I'm just going to tighten a little bit. I don't like how loose it is. Oops. Okay, so you get kind of an X pattern on there. So then I'm just going to take and put some more snail adhesive on this. I'm going to put a lot on here because I want to make sure it holds. And then we're going to just go ahead and lay this on the front. Again, it's going to give it a little bit of a border. And then the next thing I did was I cut out of the stitch shape framelits. This is one here is the largest. I cut out the, oh, what is this called? Wow, I am having such a brain fart right now. I cannot remember the name of this color. Isn't that terrible? It'll come to me, hopefully. If one of you guys can help me out here. Oh, what's it called? Why am I having such a brain fart with it? It's my favorite color too. Rich Razzleberry, thank you. Oh my goodness. It's my favorite color, you know. So anyways, I cut Rich Razzleberry out of the largest stitch shape framelit. This is the square one. And then I took a piece of crumb cake and I cut it out of the layering squares. This one here is the 5th smallest square. So I just took some crumb cake. I will do some stamping on this one. Very simple stamping though. You're going to use your Versamark ink, and you're going to take a leaf stamp. Now I just took the leaf stamp out of, which stamp set was it? The one that everybody I think in the world has. Lovely as a Tree. This one here is, yes, Julie, they're super simple. That's, you could rattle off a whole bunch of these, and fun to make with the kids. Exactly. The paper, I love their designer paper. It's just awesome the way that they design it so that you can use it wherever, you know. You can use it I find that a lot of their paper I use, their holiday paper and stuff, I use on cards that aren't holiday, and you couldn't tell that it was from a holiday set of paper. But anyways, I'm going to use Lovely as a Tree. I think everybody has this stamp set. It's been around forever. And I'm just going to use that little leaf in there. And I'm going to use Versamark with that. And I'm just going to stamp it on the crumb cake. And I didn't do a design or anything. I just kind of stamped all over the place. Kind of looks like they're falling leaves. And if you had a stamp, you know, like Happy Fall or something, you could always just put that on the front of this. So that's all I'm going to do there. And I'm going to go ahead and use my, well, let me go ahead and anchor this down. Just going to glue this to your rich raspberry, and it gives it a nice border. I like these colors. These are such, crumb cake and rich raspberry for fall. They just look so great together. And then I'm just going to pop this up on the front. Again, I'm going to use my pop-up dots, or not pop-up dots. I always call them that, Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. I don't know why I call them pop-up dots. I think it's because my son had a craft kit that he got one year for Christmas when he was little. And it had pop-up dots, and they were just like this, and it had a bunch of them, and we always used them on different projects, so I think that's why I call them pop-up dots. But so I'm just going to take these little pain in the butt octagons off of here. Some people can whip right through these and take these off super quick. I don't know. I don't have a good luck with these. They take me forever. Usually this is the part I edit out of my videos because I get annoyed with watching me take these off. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this right on the front over your twine. So again, super simple. This one's a fall card. You know, give it out for fall or Thanksgiving. It would work too. So there's another way to use that designer series paper. The last card will be a Christmas one. So this one here, again, I'm using the circle framelets here. There we go. It's got, I was playing around with it earlier with my snail adhesive, so it's got snail adhesive on there. So you're going to need a piece of real red cardstock. This one here is cut at A2 size. Thank you, Kathy, for sharing. This one here is cut at A2 size, and it is 5.5 by 4 1/4. I know people are like, why do you always say A2 size? And we know what it is. Well, if you're new and you don't know what it is, and your first time watching, then it's nice to know what the measurements are. I remember when I first started card making, because I used to scrapbook. That's how I didn't really I didn't really make cards. I scrapbooked. That was my thing. And I started making cards, I don't know, a few years ago. Well, probably more like 8 years ago. But everybody kept saying A2, and I had no idea what A2 was. And then somebody made a video, and they gave me the measurements for A2, and I was like, oh, that's so helpful. So that's why I always do it. I remember that video I watched. That's why I actually started making videos, because I was so annoyed with some of the people out there. There's a lot of great people who make videos, but there was a lot of them where I wanted to make a card, and I had no idea what the heck they did. They didn't give me any measurements. They didn't, nothing. They just are like, here's the card, and you need this paper and that paper, and they didn't tell you where to get the paper. So I was like, well, that's kind of annoying. I want to make this card, but I don't know what to buy to make it. So anyways, you're going to take this, the cauldron, the back side is the green with the dots. It almost looks like snow, big fat snow coming down, you know. And I'm gonna take the ribbon here. This is the Real Red Silk, or solid ribbon. It's real thin. And I just took and I measured it 3 strips. That's gonna lay over over here. So let me get this stuff out of my way. So I took some snail adhesive and I just took 2 strips on the sides like that. And then I took my ribbon and I just eyeballed it. I didn't do specific measurements. Fold over. I did one on the end, one, and then the other one on the end, and then I did the middle. Or else I would have been off with my measurements if I did the middle. One on the end, one in the middle, and then the other end one would have been way off. I know me, I'm not very good at eyeballing. So again, you're just going to take your ribbon, stick it to the back, wrap it around, and then the one in the middle here. Try to get them nice and straight. This one's a little crooked. I definitely am having trouble here. Let's see. There we go. So then what I'm going to do is just take some snail adhesive and put it on the back here. And just lay it on the front so it kind of borders, gives it a nice little border. Again, I don't know if I told you, but that paper was measured 5 1/4 by 4. And then what I did was I took the shaded spruce and the sparkly, what is it called, our shimmer paper, and I cut the 7th smallest circle with this shaded spruce, and then I just took the 3rd smallest stitch shaped framelit out of the shimmer paper, and we're going to do some stamping on this too. This, just a simple Christmas sentiment. I have the snowflake sentiment here. I'm just going to do Merry Christmas from our family to yours. You could do whatever Christmas one you wanted to. And I'm just going to use the Real Red to stamp that out so it matches perfectly. And our shimmer paper, Stampin' Up! Shimmer paper is so pretty. I love their paper. So then we're just going to stamp that right there, right in the center. Isn't that pretty? And then we're going to go ahead and... Hi, Lauren. How are you? How's everything going on the West Coast? How's your weather? I just took some snail adhesive, put it on your shaded spruce. And then, of course, guess what we're going to do? We're going to pop it up with the Stampin' Up! Dimensionals, not the pop dots. I like to go crazy with these. But then I don't like taking off the little octagons. So 3 different cards out of the same pack of Designer Series paper. So then we're just going to pop that up right on the front. Isn't that cute? So I just love how I got 3 different cards out of the same pack of paper. And they were pretty simple, like I said. That's why I wanted to do 3 of them. So there they are. So thank you guys for joining me today. Every Tuesday at 10 a.m. will be my lives. And don't forget to share. Our winner last week was Kimberly Drake. So I'll get your prize out in the mail. And then before the next live next week, I will pick a winner. I'll be a little bit more prepared, I think. And I'll pick a winner next week. So thank you guys so much for being here and joining me for my live. And I will see you guys again next week. Same time, same place. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day.